experience as an elite leader within the criminal justice system in the Bahamas. An icon in correctional services, his leadership ability and international achievements make him one of the most qualified professionals in the region. Born and raised in the inner city of New Providence, Bahamas, Troy is an expert in nonprofit management, addiction counseling, personal development training, and motivational speaking. As the founder, president, and CEO of the National Lead Institute, a 501c3 and one of the fastest growing community correctional institutions in the Caribbean, his expertise and teamwork have helped to bolster the employability and employment of the at-risk youth population in New Providence and strengthened the institutional capabilities of the justice services. He is also the president of Caribbean Correctional Training LLC, a company designed to train professionals within the criminal justice system and has experience working across multiple countries, including the USA, the Bahamas, and other Caribbean nations. Most recently, Troy's talents were recruited to serve as deputy chairman of the Correctional Services Review Board, which has oversight of the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services, and chairman of Communications Subcommittee for the Parole Implementation Committee. An educated trainer, Troy Clarke is a graduate of the College of the Bahamas, where he obtained his Associate of Arts degree in Law and Criminal Justice and advanced degree in Social Work. Subsequently, he pursued his Bachelor of Science degree in Criminal Justice at St. Augustine's College in Raleigh, North Carolina, where he graduated with honors. He further pursued a Master of Science degree in Management with a concentration in nonprofit leadership at New England College, New Hampshire. To further complement his education, Troy has also completed specialized courses and certifications in areas such as leadership, correctional counseling, substance abuse and gender discrimination, violence, and equality. Mr. Clarke's practical training includes active law enforcement as a part of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, in addition to hands-on experience in social work, counseling, and human resource development with persons in conflict with the law or other vulnerable individuals. As a strong advocate for a better community, Troy is a past president of Delta Epsilon Sigma, chapter of Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. Past Vice President of Education for Toastmasters Club 7178, immediate past President of the Bahamas Correctional Toastmasters Club 782534, member of Toastmasters International Club 1600, member of Blueprint Men's Ministry at Bahamas Harvest Church, and also holds affiliate membership with the American Correctional Association, ACA, the International Society of Substance Use Professionals, ISOP, and the North Carolina Nonprofit Association. Over the years, Mr. Clarke has been appointed to several committees and boards, including the Visiting Committee for the Simpson Penn Center for a Juvenile Correctional Facility, the Bahamas Reentry, Parole and Probation Committee, the National Drug Council, and was also elected founding president of the Bahamas Association of Addiction Professionals, which was birthed from the Train the Trainers program with the Colombo Plan, ICE, and president of the National Association for Juvenile Advocacy, NAJA. Troy thrives on his passion to reform the criminal justice system through preventative intervention and rehabilitative programs that are evidence-based and research-driven. Emphasizing his commitment to personal development, his all-time mantra is, all men fall, but the great ones get back up. You do not drown by falling into the water. You drown by staying there. I do not decide my future. I decide my habits, and my habits decide my future. And building strong nations, one community at a time.
Thank you very much for that most elaborate introduction. And today, my presentation will be on further elaborating on setting the groundwork on breaking out of silos to create a safer, peaceful, and productive society. Presented by yours truly, Troy Clarke. Breaking out of silos, working in collaboration. This has been something that I have carried as a burden for many years, since actually 2015, when we had one of our major conferences, our drug demand reduction and Caribbean Correctional Training Conference with the National Drug Council and sponsored by INL from the US Embassy. And I just had this just desire to see our agencies break out of silos, working collaboratively together, not corrections working in one area, social services and probation working in another area, the police, the community, but actually breaking out of silos, working collaboratively. And I know Dr. Hamilton would have given us a definition, but I want to further give you this definition of silos. According to dictionary.com, a silo is a structure, typically cylindrical, which fodder or forage is kept. In the business context, a silo generally represents a wall or boundary put up by an organization to keep them focused on accomplishing their goals and keeping outsiders from interfering with progress. So basically what we see this definition as the relevancy of silos. So although our theme is breaking out of silos, don't get me wrong, silos have their importance in the overall scheme of things. What are silos? Sometimes these are also called what we call stovepipes. Some might even go on to add that it's an organizational construct designed to protect and serve the hierarchy. The bottom line is that silos are a method for ensuring focus around specific business deliveries. So the reason why silos in the business field or an organizational field are given for the purpose of keeping the organization focused on its mission and its vision. Why are silos built? In order to understand why silos are built, let's identify the basic types of corporate silos. And for those of you who might be working in civil society or the corporate entity, we will see here the importance, why there is a need for silos in our everyday scheme of things. One, regulatory, to make sure the policies and everything of the company is kept in line. Two, hierarchical, the business unit, from the president, CEO, all the way down to the custodian of the organization. Is also for interest focus and project focus. So let's look at regulatory and business. And I put those two together because they are basically connected on the success of the business. As we look at regulatory and business unit silos, they are often there for a very good reason. In regulatory case, it could be that underwriters not being able to talk to the investors side of the financial institution. For business unit silos, they could be built due to financial reporting. And let's even break that down even smaller. In our small businesses with small employees, where you can't even break it down, you will have in mid-sized businesses, like let's say baby dogs or even the police force, persons who working in what we say accounts receivable will not have access to the processes of accounts payable, and they will not cross each other than when you reconciling, when somebody else is reconciling the books. So the silos in the work or the regulatory case is put in there to avoid financial mismanagement. Then you have interest focus. For interest-based silos, the need to be a silo can exist for many reasons, including exclusivity, competing interests, and you want to be all you can be as it relates to exclusivity instead of having somebody outside of that area competing for your customers or competing for your clients as such. And then you have project focus silos or project based silos. And they tend to track with the length of the project, but can also be business unit hierarchical in nature depending on the project scope and participants. The rationale. Silos are built for a reason. So you say, okay, then if they are built for a reason, why do we want to break out of silos? Well, let's give you the rationale why they are built. In a typical large enterprise, I like to put where at the container port here in Grand Bahama, which is a large company, which is one of the largest container port company in this hemisphere. And so they might have other agencies and other companies that they might compete with. But the reason why they do what they do in silos in many instances, because of their competitions for resources and success. They're competing priorities and lots of irrelevant activities that are happening that can become distraction from accomplishing the goals of the team. So the reason why they train and they have to do the basic work and their processes in their silos and not say collaborate with a like-minded company is that because they're going to compete sometimes for the same clientele population, or they want to win back some of the clients they might have lost because of competition. And so that's one of the reasons or rationale why silos are built. Other reasons. Another reason silos are built has to do with affiliation. This is by choice, not by edict. By building groups where you share or a shared set of goals, you effectively have an area of focus with a group of people interested in the same area and or outcome. Let's take example and point where Dr. Hamilton shared with us the chart where you have civil society, where you have the corporate, where you have the government, and you have other NGOs in the scheme of things. So in the mapping process with the funding that is being accessed from IDB, what will happen is that the purpose of that mapping is to put organizations such as the National Lead Institute who work in community correctional, drug demand reduction, and the at-risk population. You want to put those with like-minded goals and mission so that they would be more effective in delivery of services. And the outcome there would be, what we say, the outcome basically will be successful, because then you would have already mapped out who all are in the educational area, who all are in the treatment area, who all are in preventative care, the like. And you will work and bring your resources together to actually collaborate and basically have an effective outcome. So the conclusion of the rationale is there are many more reasons and impacts why silos are built. But I just simply wanted to establish that silos are built for a purpose with legitimate business needs in mind. So what does breaking down silos enable for the business? If we agree that silos serve a valid business purpose or organizational purpose, why do we want to break them down? Or why do we want to break out of silos? Part of the reason for breaking down silos is around reducing duplication of efforts. Yes, and I say duplication of efforts. Since starting this organization with a few others some 12 years ago, I came to realize that when you're building a system, if you are offering the same services as others may before, it is best to collaborate than try to go alone. And you know, I have this saying, if you want to go fast, and a lot of times when you go fast, you make a lot of mistakes, you go alone. If you want to go further or you want to go far, then go together. That is an ancient proverbs. And if we can take that concept on today, we can see so much success, not only as organizations within the confines of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, but organizations across borders throughout the Caribbean, as far back or far south as Suriname, Guyana, Trinidad, Barbados, and the Eastern Caribbean, and coming up north here to the Bahamas. So if you take two teams that would be competing on a project and instead get them to work together and collaborate on a project, the hope is that you get a better output that incorporates the best ideas from all employees throughout the company. That's the purpose. And later on in another presentation, I will share with you the criminal justice system. And believe you or not, although we have the defense force on here, and you have the police on here, and you have corrections on here, and I don't want to be kind of biased, but personally and professionally, the criminal justice system has three main silos. And if you don't break those silos out, then you would not have the results or the great results of having a safer, more peaceful, and productive society. Why I say that? It's because I believe that one of the greatest or most important silos in our criminal justice system is corrections. And if that silo don't collaborate effectively with the community or break out and work effectively with the community, the courts, and the police, then we'll have a revolving door. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. So to continue on the benefits of silos or breaking out, another benefit of breaking down silos is the opening up of information so that it is accessible to everyone. And even in our organization, we have a subsidiary company called Diversion Behavioral Health Care. Now, we don't have the resources and everything needed to treat mild mental health disorders and substance use disorder. So what we do is that we utilize a network of providers who are efficient, effective, and professional to carry out the services that we so desire. And so we have to share the information. The clients that come through our doors may be referred to an SRC or may be referred to a individual service provider, and you'll hear more of those when the mental health issue comes up. Benefits. This allows information to be much more accessible, often resulting in serendipity and new opportunities. Its history enables people to see what's been tried in the past, the people who were involved, and maybe insight into why it didn't work. I know there is a thing about in the correctional field, there's a parole system coming up, and then you have what we call restorative justice and other programming. And so this will help with that. We'll see to see if organizations that tried things and see if this didn't work, who were the individuals involved, why the programs or the services didn't have the greatest impact. So this, when you break down silos, this helps you instead of, this is my territory, I'm keeping this to myself. And, I'm not ashamed to say the greatest silos builders are in governmental organizations as well as civil society organizations. And you can find that, to be quite real, you can find that across the spectrum. And so it's very important for us to break down the silos. So results of breaking down silos. Lastly, breaking down silos enables expertise to be leveraged across the entire enterprise. This is extremely valuable when highly sought after expertise is needed, but hard to find. Case in point, and I like to use my organization as an example. Lee has had the success of building his platform, and it had nothing to do with yours truly, the CEO. Because actually, I'm not the brightest crayon in the book or in the box. So what I have done, I have aligned myself with persons smarter than I am. And as a result, we are able to put on forums virtually like this and in persons over the 12 years we've been around. And it's all because we sought to break down silos and we leverage the expertise. We have persons who are at their doctorate level, persons at their master's level in education, psychology. We have psychiatric mental health providers. We have social workers. And that is how we were able to reach our clientele bases and give the much needed services. The success of it all, at the end of the day, is to create a safer community and a better nation. So wherever you are in the Caribbean, wherever you are in the Bahamas, whether you are in Grand Bahama in the north, to Inagua in the south, to have a safer community, a better nation, we must break down the silos that we have in our respective communities. At this time, I will open the floor for comments, questions. Okay, go ahead, Marjorie.
Hey, good day. Hi, Troy.
Hi.
You have a fabulous panel of experts.
Thank you.
Let me say this to you. Nothing, I'm in the airport, I'm traveling, so apologies for the noise. Those pillars that you just outlined are so on point. We as a region, we are not going to achieve those levels of success that we're shooting for unless we collaborate, unless we share, unless we figure out that our issues are not only just local issues, they're regional issues, they're human issues. And we have to teach ourselves some new strategies about how to get where we need to be. And you have been listening keenly to the presentations, and I want to say thank you for taking this bold move to bring these issues to the front and to the fore, and to have us have this kind of conversation so we can translate conversation into action. Thanks again, and keep doing what you're doing.
Can you just let the audience know where you're from, Marjorie?
Oh, sure. I'm Marjorie Beezer. I'm from Antigua and Barbuda. I'm a consultant there, and my organization, similar to Troy's, is LEAD. But for us, our focus and our areas of interest, we're the LEAD Center for Public Policy, Advocacy, Justice, and Social Change. Well, change can't happen in a silo, nor can it happen with one hand. It takes two hands to clap.
Yes.
So, give me your hands, give me your people, give me your intellect, give me your knowledge, give me your passion. And I kid you not, I'm willing to give you mine so that we can make the Caribbean Basin the gem and jewel that it is. They
Yes.
don't see us, they don't even know we were a sleeping giant, and we're waking up.
Yes.
We're waking up. Thank you, Troy, for this forum. Thank you.
Awesome to see you
Doing it.
again.
Yes, my darling.
Good, good. Also, we have Lillian. We have Lillian Weiber. Troy, a very interesting presentation. Great greetings from Suriname. Yeah, I fully agree with you that we should bring down the silos by opening information so that it is accessible to everyone. Do you need more questions, comments, concerns that you would like to share?
Mr. Clarke,
Go
just
ahead.
wanted to comment on the forum. I think the forum is very timely, especially for the Bahamas. And I too concur with the first respondent who said that they applaud you for taking this bold stand to get organizations together for one goal and for quality patient outcomes. So thank you, and I'm very proud that you took the stand to do it, to do this.
You want to identify yourself?
This is Eloy Scholl from the Bahamas.
And what organization, what agency you work with, if you don't mind?
I'm a part of the Public Hospital Authority and also a certified professional in substance use disorder.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you very much for joining us, Eloise, today. Good. If there be no more comments, question, we will segue right into our next presenter.